Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. I'm Steve,
And I'm Scott.
and together we are Backyard Musings, the Science and Technology channel.
Yeah, we're talking about another space topic this afternoon, finishing out the day. And we're talking about a super Jupiter. So, this is a cool story. I don't know how they do this, how they find these guys, but they're out there. So,
Scott, I was thinking, like this morning we did Super Beta or Beta Pictoris D, and today another one, Super Jupiter. If I could work on a starship that was traveling and exploring the galaxy on a 5-year mission, I
Are,
would want
to go where no man has gone before?
no one.
Oh, no one. Okay.
I would want to work in stellar cartography, mapping the stars and planets and stuff. I would not want to be on the bridge fighting the Romulans and the Klingons and whoever else popped up. I'd want to be mapping the stars. What do you think?
Whoever else is your crew, you'd have to fight your crew, right?
Well, no, those there are things that would pop up. They get sucked into something, and then they'd have to fight. And someone, the red shirt would always die. A no-name red shirt that would come on for a guest appearance, he'd die.
These
Right?
are all Star Trek topics that you're coming up with here. Romulans, Klingons.
I'm just saying, I'd rather work in stellar cartography, mapping the stars and whatever natural phenomena like wormholes and stuff.
Just
I'd want to do
leave me alone and give me my James Webb telescope, right? That's what I
that.
want to do.
Exactly. All right, here we go. Scientists discovered a rare planet larger than Jupiter orbiting a distant star once every 180 days. That's pretty close. A planet nearly 5 times as massive as Jupiter circles a distant star once every 100 days, known as NGTS 38b. It is an exoplanet, meaning a world that orbits a star outside our solar system. NGTS 38b is about 8% wider than Jupiter and nearly 5 times as massive. Worlds with this combination of size and mass are commonly described as super Jupiters. They could be dwarf stars, too. Would you like to know more?
That is a big planet.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. Okay, the first clue appeared in observations from NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, or TESS, and we will call it TESS from now on, which looks for slight reductions in a star's brightness. These dimming events occur when a planet crosses in front of its star, a passage called a transit. According to the researchers, NGTS 38b's 108-day orbit is among the longest ever identified through the transit method.
One of the longest. So they're saying that there might be something with a
Longest.
30-day transit or a 90-day. Crazy. Okay, Toby Rodell, a PhD student in the School of Mathematics and Physics at Queen's, led the work under the supervision of Professor Christopher Watson. I'm assuming Queen's is something in the United Kingdom. Toby comments, quote, "This has been an incredible discovery. We're very good at finding planets on very short orbits, close to the stars. So finding one much farther out at 180 days is a big deal."
Okay. Quote, "The journey began when the planet was first detected by TESS from just a single transit on Christmas Day 2020. Our team then pointed telescopes from the Next Generation Transit Survey, the NGTS, in Chile at the star for over 200 nights before we caught the final moments of a second transit." Okay. They must have been giddy.
Yeah, right around Christmas. So, continuing the quote, "We were able to measure tiny changes in the star's movements by splitting up the light from the star. This allowed us to detect the tiny gravitational pull of the planet on its star. Analyzing all this data together, we were able to reveal that the planet completes one orbit, which marks the length of its year every 180 days."
Planets traveling on long, wide orbits are especially difficult to detect because they cross their stars less often and are less likely to pass directly between the star and Earth.
I talked about that this morning.
Yeah. Toby adds, "This planet has a much cooler temperature than most of the other planets we study in detail, So it's a great opportunity to study what happens to planets at these cooler temperatures.
And continuing Toby's quote, most planets in our solar system have almost circular orbits, but this new planet follows a slightly more unusual and oval-shaped path. At its closest approach, it lies only slightly further from the star than Mercury is from the sun. Really? Wow. At its most distant, it is almost as far away as the Earth is from the sun. However, because its host star is larger and hotter than our sun, the planet is hotter than Earth.
Wow. Okay. Quote, because the planet is so massive, it also has a really strong gravitational pull and is far enough away from its star that it might be able to hold on to moons or rings, which is really exciting as we've never found moons or rings around any planet outside of our solar system.
That is pretty cool.
And that would be Saturn, right? Saturn's the planet with the rings. So
Yes. The findings were published in the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society on June 5th, 2026. Researchers at Queen's led the international collaboration, which also included scientists from the universities of Leiden, Geneva, Warwick, Birmingham, and New Mexico, among others.
Okay. Professor Christopher Watson adds, this discovery was the culmination of years of detective work. Because the planet takes around 6 months to complete each orbit, we only had a small number of opportunities to observe another transit. He goes on, pushing the capability of detecting planets at longer orbital periods is essential if we wish to find another planet like the Earth. Keep looking, man. This planet is nothing like the Earth, of course, but demonstrates how the game has moved on remarkably over the last 2 decades.
A separate
Got to be
group
out
led
there,
by,
though, right? Got to be out there.
yeah, it has to be. A separate group led by Felipe Rojas and Dr. Rafael Braun of Universidad Adolfo Ibáñez in Santiago, Chile, independently identified the planetary system and published its own paper on ARXIV, with the X is capital, the other letters are lowercase. Felipe comments, quote, this planet stand out among the transiting exoplanets known to date with a mass of 4.5 times Jupiter's, a half-year orbit, and a mild eccentricity.
Okay, another quote here. Worlds like this have barely been explored, and their properties preserve the fingerprints of their formation, making this system a great case for studying the origin of giant planets, unquote. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Really
They're
cool.
out there. Man, I just can't even imagine being around when they discover a planet that's like Earth. That would be so cool.
I don't know. Do you think Heavenly Father would allow that? I mean, I don't know. If there's one close enough to discover, you know? His works are
Without number.
without number. Yeah. It would be amazing. Yeah.
Got to be out there. They're probably looking for us too.
Exactly. or they're digging trenches, you know, trying to find food.
Yeah, or they found us and say, man, we want nothing to do with those guys.
We saw Stephen Scott. No, we don't want to.
I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about all the ne'er-do-wells out there. So,
all right, folks, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you tomorrow morning.
Take care, everyone. Have a good day.